Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Perivasharanam. Divine stories. Under that series, we've been seeing a lot of interesting anecdotes from mythology. Today is a very auspicious day, 26th May 2021, 128th star birthday of our beloved Swami, Holiness Shri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati of Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. So on this auspicious day, as a samarpanam, as an offering to him, I thought I will share some glimpses from his life history. We all fondly call him Machitata, Mahaperiva, meaning the Great One, or Paramacharya, or Nadamadum Devam, the Walking God. The name Mahaperiva was to differentiate him from the other Acharyas of the Kanchi Mutt, and hence we will be using that name throughout. When was Mahaperiva born? He was born on 20th May 1894 at Villupuram as Swaminathan to his parents Mahalakshmi Ammal and Subramanya Shastri. He was their second child. He had an elder brother, two younger brothers and a younger sister. His father was employed as supervisor of schools in the education department and was working at Villupuram when Swaminathan was born. Swaminathan was a very bright boy with a remarkable grasp of anything that was taught, and his father decided to educate him at home till his 8th year. In 1905, the family moved to another city, Dindivanam, when he was admitted to the second form, today's 7th standard, at the Arcot American Mission High School. Swaminathan, he always displayed remarkable intelligence and stood first in all the subjects and got prizes, including one for proficiency in the Holy Bible. In 1906, the school was staging Shakespeare's King John, and Swaminathan was selected at the last moment to play the role of Prince Arthur. Earlier, his teacher thought he was very young for the role, but the headmaster wanted him to take up the role. He had to get special costumes for the same, and though initially his father was reluctant because of his financial condition, he could not refuse young Swaminathan's wish, and within 2 days, Swaminathan learnt all the dialogues by heart. Needless to say, his performance was stellar and he won the accolades for the same. Swaminathan's father visited, along with his family, a small place called as Perumukkal, where the 66th Acharya of the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham was camping. The Acharya's gaze fell upon Swaminathan, and he also asked details about Swaminathan and his family. It looked like Acharya had decided in his mind to select Swaminathan as the next Acharya. He announced the decision to the people present there and about the future of Swaminathan. His parents thought it was a very good blessing, but little did they know that their son will leave them permanently. In February 1907, the family received a short telegram from Kanchi Mutt addressing to Subramanya Shastrigal to bring Swaminathan to Kalavai, which is a place near Kanchipuram, and in that place the 66th Acharya was camping. Since Subramanya Shastrigal was an official tour to Trichy, the neighbors arranged for Swaminathan to go with his mother Mahalakshmi Ammal and his siblings by train to Kanchipuram. They went to the Kanchi Mutt at Kanchipuram, and from there a horse cart had been arranged to take Swaminathan to Kalavai alone, much to the surprise of his mother and siblings. They were asked to come in another vehicle. Swaminathan was just 13 years then. While he was wondering why he was being taken alone, the person who had come to take him slowly revealed that he would never go back to his family, as the 66th Acharya had passed away. In those days, telecommunication was not there, only telegram or post was working. So actually Acharya wanted to send the message very fast to Swaminathan, as he was suffering from smallpox, and by the time the message reached Swaminathan, his final moments had arrived, and therefore he initiated the cousin of Swaminathan by name Lakshminathan as his successor. Lakshminathan was just 18 years old then, and of course was very well versed in Rig Veda. But unfortunately, Lakshminathan also contracted smallpox and lived only for 8 days. However, before passing away, he approved Swaminathan as his successor to the Kanchi Peetham. This unexpected turn of events was definitely a shock for the little Swaminathan and for his parents. The parents were so deeply worried as the life of a sannyasi required the highest level of self-discipline, meditation and complete disconnect with family members. The very thought of giving up their child and for him that he has to live in a monastic life was unbearable for them to think. But the way Swaminathan handled was absolutely beautiful. He regained a calm composure very quickly and told his parents, "Why are you hesitant? I feel I have the complete blessings of my acharyas. Please permit me wholeheartedly to become a sannyasi and let me fulfill my duties." Parents had no other option and let him go. Mahaperiva Swaminathan, he was then anointed as the 68th Acharya of the Kamakoti Peetham at the age of 13. He was given the title of Jagadguru Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati. Mahaperiva went and stayed at Kumbakonam from 1908 and he learned the Vedas, Sanskrit scriptures and fine arts under the guidance of learned scholars. But since he had so many visitors, he moved to a place called Mahendra Mangalam on the banks of river Kaveri. In 1911, Mahaperiva moved to Mahendra Mangalam and he continued his studies. He learned Sanskrit grammar, logic, Vedanta, epics, history of holy places, archaeology, world history, mathematics, astronomy, astrology, in addition to English, French, Tamil, grammar and literature. Oh my, so much he learned. He was deeply interested in Tamil classics like Tirukural, Thevaram and Tiruvachakam. I would also like to take this opportunity to share with all those who are listening to the audio that Mahendra Mangalam is a place that should be visited by everyone. I had this golden opportunity to visit this place last year and I got to see the place where Mahaperiva stayed and studied and was sitting near the water as well. What a beautiful, amazing experience it was. In 1914, within a period of 6 years, Mahaperiva became well versed in many subjects and languages. At the young age of 20, he took on the whole responsibility of the Kanchi Mutt. His only goal was welfare of mankind. He had taken many initiatives keeping the welfare of the people. These initiatives are wide range, from restoration of ponds, digging of wells, providing medical aid to the poor people, encouraging students and scholars for them to study, providing food for the needy to restoring cultural heritage. Emphasis was also given for protection of the cows and the Vedas. Mahaperiva went around India by foot, meeting so many people. He never cared for any comfort and used even cow sheds to stay. Though he did not care for his comfort, he was always keen that his visitors should be taken care well. With his frail body, he used to walk from place to place at such a fast pace that people would be stunned looking at him. His daily schedule would include long hours of worship and meditation, meeting visitors from far and near. He ate minimal food only once a day. He had complete control of the senses. Coupled with his real concern for the well-being of the world, it seems to have given him the strength, both physical and mental, to undergo such arduous journeys. He was an amazing reader and would keep himself abreast of all the happenings in India and the world around. Mahaperiva respected all religions that believed in the existence of God. That was the reason why scholars from all religions found themselves comfortable in his presence and would come and discuss with him on the religions of the world. He was always of the opinion that one should stick to one's religion at birth and continue to practice that worship to their gods. He was so well versed in the matters of the state as he was in Vedanta. This drew many political leaders and royal families from India and abroad to him. There are so many incidents connected to him which show how great he was and how humble he was. This audio will not talk about the incidents in his life. This is just a small biography of such a great saint, Mahaperiva. Mahaperiva lived a whole 100 years before he attained Siddhi on January 8, 1994. His physical body is interred in a place inside the Kanchi Mutt itself, and he lives forever in the hearts of all, and his divine presence is evident even to this day as experienced by his devotees. Hope this short biography of such a renowned saint and humble person was useful, and I hope that the glimpses from the life history of such a great Mahatma that we heard today filled our hearts with joy and happiness. Periva Sharanam.